How did a prison guard end up arresting his own colonel? I found out when I discovered my commanding officer stealing money meant for wounded veterans. I was a staff sergeant running night security at the military detention facility at Fort Leavenworth. Standard job: monitor prisoners, write reports, keep everything secure. Our colonel, Michael Hayes, seemed like a decent guy. Decorated combat veteran, Purple Heart, Bronze Star. Everyone respected him. The first red flag came during a routine inspection in March. I'm checking the commissary accounts when I notice weird discrepancies. Money coming in from the Veteran Rehabilitation Fund, but purchases don't match the receipts. Small amounts at first, maybe $200 here, $500 there. Easy to miss if you're not paying attention. But I'd been doing books for my dad's construction business since high school. Numbers either add up or they don't. I mentioned it to Sergeant Williams, thinking it was just paperwork errors. He told me to mind my own business, focus on security, not accounting. But the discrepancies kept growing. April brought bigger problems. The rehabilitation fund was supposed to buy new wheelchairs and prosthetics for injured soldiers at the VA hospital. Instead, I'm seeing purchases for luxury office furniture and expensive electronics, all signed off by Colonel Hayes. I started taking pictures of the documents, copying receipts, building a file of evidence, still hoping there was some explanation. Maybe the colonel was buying equipment for a different program. Then I found the real smoking gun. An invoice for a $15,000 motorcycle paid for with veteran fund money. Delivery address: Colonel Hayes' home. Not the base, his personal residence. I spent 2 weeks documenting everything. Hayes had been skimming money for 8 months. Total theft was over $80,000. Money meant for soldiers who'd lost limbs defending our country. The hardest part was figuring out what to do next. You don't just accuse a colonel of theft. Chain of command says report it to your superior, but Hayes was my superior. Going above him meant contacting the base commander. May 15th, I finally made the call. Spoke directly to General Patricia Lopez, explained what I'd found. She listened without interruption, asked for copies of everything I'd collected. 2 days later, Criminal Investigation Division showed up. Real investigators, not base security. They spent a week going through files, interviewing personnel, following money trails. May 22nd, everything came to a head. I'm pulling my regular night shift when CID agent Sarah Kim approaches my desk. "We need you to do something difficult," she says. "Colonel Hayes is coming in for a routine evening inspection. When he arrives, you need to place him under arrest." My hands started shaking. Arrest my own commanding officer? Agent Kim handed me the warrant. "This is signed by a federal judge. Hayes is being charged with theft of government funds and fraud. You're the senior MP on duty. It has to be you." At exactly 1900 hours, Colonel Hayes walked through the front door. Same confident stride, same professional demeanor. He had no idea what was coming. "Evening, Sergeant Parker," he said casually. "How are things running tonight?" "Everything secure, sir. Actually, I need to speak with you privately." I led him to the administrative office, away from other personnel. Agent Kim was waiting inside with 2 other investigators. Hayes saw them and his face went white. "Colonel Hayes," I said, reading from the warrant, "you're under arrest for theft of federal funds and conspiracy to commit fraud. You have the right to remain silent." He didn't resist, didn't argue, just stood there while I cuffed him. After 23 years of service, his career ended in handcuffs in a prison he used to command. The investigation revealed he'd been gambling, lost his house to bad bets, needed money desperately, thought he could borrow from the fund and pay it back before anyone noticed. Hayes got 6 years in federal prison, same type of facility he used to run, lost his pension, his rank, everything. The stolen money was recovered and finally made it to the veterans who needed it. Agent Kim told me later that my documentation was crucial to the conviction. Without those receipts and photos, they might never have gotten enough evidence. Last month, I received a letter from a soldier at the VA hospital. He got one of those wheelchairs we bought with the recovered money, thanked me for making sure the funds reached the right people. The letter is framed on my desk now, right next to my commendation for integrity under pressure. Sometimes doing the right thing means arresting your own colonel.